The views and opinions of this podcast are solely our own, with no direct intention to offend or upset.
Brilliant. Fucking brilliant.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to What's the Script, the place where two handsome chaps talk about films and whatnot. But before we get into how handsome we are, thanks to Quaint for providing the entrance music again. I mean, the big talk's about Oasis, but there is rumour that Quaint are going to be supporting them, so get in there, lads. Craig, how are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm alright, man. I'm fucking mad for it, up for it, out for it. It's great to be back in a band, man. Because I'm in a band, fact. I'm delighted. I'm good, mate. I'm fucking smashing. It's Oasis announcement day to day, buzzing. I've got my cohorts on the case to try and get my ticket because I am fucking skint. Absolute, I'm not kidding. Skint as skint can be. So I'm praying to the gods that my pal gets me a ticket. But if no, I'll be outside a certain venue at one point, steaming and dancing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But how are you? You all right?
Oh, I am poorer. Still dealing with the veterinary professions, but aye, it's all. I mean, get this. A dog nail clipping, 38 quid to cut a
That's
dog's nails.
Outrageous.
Aye,
Mate.
it's fucking. Oh, should be wearing a mask, you bastard.
I know. You should just have a pamper night with it, sit it up on the couch and start filing its nails and all that.
Aye.
A wee towel on its head.
I've seen the videos on TikTok. See where people like that, my bath day with the dog, and they're like rubbing oils through it and brushing teeth and fucking there's like a wee rolling pin for their face and all that. No, what the fuck's that for?
Aye, that's a nonsense, man. Dogs aren't meant to be pampered. They're meant to be fucking happy and jovial and rolling about in muddy puddles and all that shit, aren't they?
Oh, they like a roll in the mud.
Usually right after a bath.
Aye. Do you ever think dogs sit like that? Oh, we're a pup.
No, but I think they sit in the bath raging while you're rinsing the soap out their fur and they look at you with the eyes and go, see in a minute I'm out of here. I'm getting fucking market. Get it up, you.
I think they go like that and all, but soon we go, look at the size of that Mars bar now. It's fucking shocking. Size of that treat that bastards gave me. I remember you used to get a whole mouthful there.
Jumboing, you call it, is it? I remember when jumbones were jump. I remember my dad used to get a bone at the fucking butchers. You'd give me that shite. Aye.
Oh, wagon wheels. I remember the size of wagon wheels. I worry you up the road eating your biscuit like that. You fucking crackpot.
It's a two-hand job. Covered fucking.
It was a two-hand job. Oh, you are skint.
Aye, I'm not kidding, man. I'm
sitting there like
that. Pull the other one. Other.
But there you go. We made in different tangents there. But aye, I shout out to our podcast community friends there. Seismic, that just done the Hunger Games there. I'm not a fan of the Hunger Game films, but it was a good wee listen. Good wee listen. I'm not reading the books either. The books are in here somewhere, but that's for when the war comes and we need to start fires. That's where they're going. You know what I mean?
That's for we're in bunkers burning candles.
Aye.
You know what I mean? Fucking right. Nah, I think I watched the first one a couple of times and it was all right. And then the second and third ones what the fuck's going on here? This is pish, heat candy, garbage, man. But apparently if you've read the books, you'll have a better understanding of the whole shebang, and the books are a lot better, which is fair enough. But see, they just can't call people's names right. Like Peter has evolved to Pita. I thought she had a speech impediment for like 4 years. Peter, Peter. And then Katniss.
I'm going
Katniss. Oh, what's your name? Catnip? What? What's going on?
Aye. Is that boy named after the thing you put your kebab in there?
Exactly. And then it's the only movie that's managed to fucking defile Eliza Banks. Eliza Banks is beautiful, but no, they're all right. We're going to get this tin of emulsion. We're going to paint your face with that, and then we're going to paint red bits on all your lips. No, all your lips, wee bits of your lips and that, and we're going to fuck your eyes up, and we're going to give you the biggest Easter bonnets you've ever known to man.
I know. I mean, she was actually better looking when she was the baddie in the fucking Power Rangers film. Know what I mean? And she was supposed to look like some sort of this. I mean, Power Rangers for life, bruh.
Get yourself to France, man. What I do remember, remember Power Rangers used to be on, was it early in the morning or it was on TV AM or something like that? So sometimes going to my work, by the way, I sometimes came across it while I was eating my toast or something. And I swear to God, there was a Scottish Power Ranger at one point. I swear, but nobody that likes the Power Rangers like, there you go. I'm fucking telling you. A Power Ranger with a Scottish accent. I've seen it once. I've never done the deep dive to see if I'm correct, but
Right.
But you can't confirm or deny that, no?
I cannot, mate. I just remember just shit going, blah, people doing backflips and fighting aliens and all that. It was fucking right up my street. You know what I mean?
I remember the tune. You know what I mean? And I know.
I continue with shouts out. Shout out to Diabolical lads again, and obviously they were soon to be collab partners. The Breakfast Crew. This is gonna be so many teary wanks this week.
There goes my heroes, partying every week. A Direct Fest had done one of their kind of poetry short story episodes there. It was fucking pretty funny, man. Good how they can never get through one in its entirety without making a fucking joke or laughing about it. So I'm kind of buzzing for the next couple of days to get them on the podcast and see what their take is on Armageddon out of here.
Aye. For anybody that hasn't seen the socials of that, we will be doing a collab with the Breakfast Crew. So keep yourself posted, keep yourself primed like a gazelle in the plains of Africa. Primed there, ready to spring.
Aye, away for a fucking lion. As long as it's not Amazon Prime, because they're bastards. I'm
done
with Amazon Prime, and the day I've actually just fucking deleted my whole Amazon account, which I had for 19 years. So
that's 19 years ago. Jeff Bezos would have still been cutting his own fingernails back then. That's
Tom Skerritt would still have been relevant.
But before we move on to the film that we're doing today, what were your recent watches, mate?
Oh, separate file. Let me open that for you and I'll tell you exactly what the fuck I've been watching.
What's the separate file?
Oh no, it's going to be long. It's not as long as it was last week, I'll tell you. I watched Night Hunter, Henry Cavill thing. That was all right. Hell and High Water. Thoroughly enjoyed that, by the way. The Mexican, which I thought I hadn't seen, but I ended up I had seen it. This is all right. See the Mexican, see Brad Pitt's character in that. Now he's a bit of a fucking fuck up. It made me watch Bullet Train again, and I'm like, that's the same character. That's the same fucking guy. Isn't it? So I watched that. For some reason, I put on Cheech and Chong Up in Smoke because I remember getting a line of that at school and every cunt thought it was amazing and funny and all that. By the way, it is utter shite. Cheech and Chong, I'm sorry. I know you're the faces of a generation and a kind of a movement of smoking plants, but that was fucking awful. It really was. Yeah. I then watched The Exorcism of Emily Rose, which was fabulous. I liked that. American Psycho. says what it says. You know what I mean? Beetlejuice, Bullet Train, as I said. And series wise, I watched The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon, and that was awesome. That was awesome. So that's two spin-offs for The Walking Dead that have been great, and I'll get on board with the Maggie Negan one as well. See if that's just as good. But that was me, mate.
Yeah.
What about yourself?
Yeah. Oh, well, mine's has been kind of plain Jane this time around there. Obviously, because I went to see Alien Romulus.
Oh, I seen that. No. Oh, sorry.
Aye. So I continued. Well, I'd watched the first Alien and then watched Aliens before I went to see Romulus. So I thought I'll see out the whole franchise sort of thing. So I watched Alien 3, Alien Resurrection, Prometheus, Alien Covenant, and like yourself, I watched Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice is in the air, man.
It's fucking is in there, man. Hey,
Mate,
that's fucking marvel.
mate, it's still good.
It's
still funny.
good, isn't it?
Aye.
Save that guy for later, huh?
I just hope with this new one coming out, it's similar. Know what I mean? Because I can't be dealing with another remake or something, and it's just gotta be shit.
Well,
Let's see this.
I know. I did watch an interview with Michael Keaton yesterday, and he said that he took this role under the strict instruction that he had little or no more screen time than he did in the first one, which was about 17 minutes or so. He says, if you're going to go over the 17 minutes, maybe a minute or something, he says, but it can't just be about me, the character. It's got to be a story. It's got to be engaging. It's got to be new people, old people.
Yeah.
It kind of same, and I was like, fucking, well, that kind of makes me think it might be all right, isn't it?
Yeah. Because that's what I was kind of getting concerned with, because when you look at the trailer for it, there is a lot of Beetlejuice. Know what I mean? And it's like, is he going to be a pure prominent fucking figure in it? No, I mean, it is Beetlejuice, but there's fucking far more to the Beetlejuice world. Know what I mean?
See, when you watched it, did you look at Alec Baldwin and think, I've never seen you younger than anything else, man, in my fucking life, man?
Aye, mate. See like Alec Baldwin now. That's how I always seem to remember Alec Baldwin. Just
Aye, that's it.
like all the way back to like the Departed and all that, mate. He fucking it must have just been a time when he just one day he just went, hey, know what I mean?
Aye, because even back then he was married to fucking Kim Basinger, know what I mean? The most beautiful woman in Hollywood at the time. And I look back and I'm like, I've never seen you look younger. Gina Davis just has always been the same age, I think.
Aye, she doesn't age that woman.
Just the white
No,
tights are fucking shocking.
That reminds me, I might be watching it's like Cutthroat Island or something there. I might watch that again. I like that film. It gets panned, but I like it. So get it up, you. I mean,
I've seen it.
There's a wee shout out to Jennifer Lawrence there. Oh, there's been no leading women in action films. Oh, aye, you better have a word with fucking Gina Davis. I think she's done a few herself.
Aye, I think Linda Carter's fucking wanting to chap your door there.
I know to mention Big Sigourney Weaver. Know what I mean? Aye, hold on to do. Aye, I'm setting about the most perfect organism in fucking space, but aye, okay then. You say your piece, fucking asshole. But aye, so that's how it's rounded up, mate. So we may as well get on to the subject matter at hand, which was the 90s. The 90s. That was but a pup. I say 1997's mega classic Titanic, mate. But before we get into the film, mate, have you done a rundown of 97?
Oh, aye. I've done the dive. I've done it deeply. And there was a lot going on in 1977. Fuck's it, I wasn't even born then. 1997. And we'll go through some things here as we always do. Let's go back to the year where things were better than today. 'Cause it's shit. That's a new song I made up there. I'll forget that for next time. So, movie-wise, in the same year as this behemoth that is Titanic, we had a particular favourite of yours, Dante's Peak. Shite. Conspiracy Theory, Kiss the Girls, The Game. I really liked The Game. Michael Douglas. That was smashing that.
Aye.
Devil's Advocate. Enjoyed
Yeah,
that.
smashing that.
Event Horizon, which
Oh, I like
is
that.
a cult classic, which I'm not quite on board with, but there you go.
There's a TV
And
series of that coming on, by the way.
of course there is, mate. Of course there is. I think there's going to be a TV series about the underwear that I've been for 1994 and all, man, because just everything's getting its own fucking show. And the only other one I wrote down here was Contact, which I enjoyed as well. I thought it was a great film. Made me cry, that film. Her daddy comes back, well, alien comes back as her daddy and goes, "Hi, you're all right. It's cool. There is aliens, but you're going to get back and no cunt's going to know about it apart from you. Oh, cheers, da. Make me look a fucking idiot." So that was kind of the main films. There was other ones dotted about that were all right, and there's a right good few I hadn't heard about before, but I was mainly at the football 97, getting tanked up and gone with dirty ladies and that, you know. Wasn't one for the cinema that year, apart from Titanic, which I saw twice. Now the events of the world, thus as follows: the US stock market crashed, and that was a big deal apparently. The Scottish Parliament was created. Devolution was made, and then all these spam pots. We need money in courthouse to fucking talk about shit. So that happened. The UK handed Hong Kong back to China. I remember watching that live, man. Big Charlie was there, Prince Charles and that.
Charlie.
Big Charlie. The comet Hale-Bopp went by the Earth, which was a big deal apparently. I never seen it. Pete Sampras won Wimbledon. And apart from that, it's a bit quiet, 97. There was another Labour landslide, Tony Blair, all that shit, you know what I mean? But apart from that, nothing really magic. Music-wise, though, we had Barbie Girl by Aqua.
Oh, it's a fucking chant, that.
Chant. Tub Thumping by Chumbawamba. In keeping with the spirit of today, Do You Know What I Mean by Oasis. There you are. The Drugs Don't Work by The Verve, another banger. And Around the World by Daft Punk. Remember that one?
I like that.
Second verse, same as the first.
Always wanted to see Daft Punk.
Aye. I thought they'll get some cracking stuff, but they've got some right obscure stuff, I know. They're doing the new, are they doing the new Tron?
They've done the last one, so can't see them because there's a bit of music in that. I thought, well, yeah, that's fucking toe tapping that.
I like them, and they're in the cusp. They're like lyrics away from being another Chemical Brothers and some things, you know what I mean? They're pretty decent. Deaths, we had some celebrity deaths. God bless you. In 97, none bigger than the Queen of Hearts, Princess Diana, who can still be scraped off the inside of a tunnel wall in Paris somewhere, I'm hearing. No, that wasn't funny. I remember coming for the dancing. I came for bonkers, steaming. And she'd crashed and it'd been critical. And then by the time I woke up, so obviously she was away, you know what I mean? My mom went to Althorpe House and everything and seen that. It was a big deal, as we all know.
I didn't know she was a Hearts fan.
Well, if she'd be fucking lucky she's dead to do it, because I'll shite the old Hearts. They're fucking not playing well at all. Get beat off everybody in their dug, so they are. Which I enjoy because Stephen Naismith is a cunt. Like you nurse you through 2 cruciate ligaments, then you bugger off. There you go, you wee shite. Anyway, digress.
Fucking
Another
shyster.
death. He's a shyster. He's got no heart, the boy. He's in the right club.
Down with the bitch.
Another celebrity death, which is one of my mammy's favourite, John Denver. Friend to the podcast, Burgess Meredith. Wee Mickey. He popped his clogs. Notorious B.I.G. was assassinated by Puff Daddy, or one of Puff Daddy's people that he phoned to do it, if you believe the conspiracy theories. And we lost a comedic genius, just like we were talking last week about John Candy. 1997, we lost Chris Farley, who was peaking his powers at that time, wasn't he?
Yeah. Oh, he's a funny geezer. I always
He's a
remember him
fun-
for the water boy. Just
Ah,
pure raging bus driver.
so there we go, mate. That was all that happened that was probably interesting to us in 1997.
Aye.
Another good year.
I'm trying to remember. I might have discovered my Willie or something at that point. You know what I mean? Where would that have been? 93, 94, 95.
In the
Was it?
bathroom.
Aye. Was that a 5 or something there? Aye,
Oh no, that's
5.
too young.
Oh,
That's too young to
I'd
be in
have,
the bathroom with the case catalogue. No,
aye.
no.
I was still in the bath with my fucking toys and all that. Know what I mean? But aye, so there you go. 1997, a classic year. The things were happening. Things were happening. Know what I mean?
Mhm.
But
Ah,
same year, Mr. James Cameron wrote and directed Titanic. It's a mega film. It's still many people's favourites, funny enough. But what was the numbers and what was the cast, mate? Gives a rundown of this big show.
Oh, I'd be
Big show.
delighted to. Big shoe, big shoe. So it was released here in the 19th of December, 1997, so just in time for Christmas, which was quite apt. And as you said, they're directed by James Cameron, who very rarely makes a mediocre mainstream film, you know what I mean? It starred, obviously, Leonardo DiCaprio, Kate Winslet, Bill Paxton, Kathy Bates, Billy Zane, Gloria Stewart, who was Old Rose, and Victor Garber. So there was a bigger cast than that, obviously, but that's the main dudes and all that, and they were all smashing. Obviously, the score was by Celine Dion, "My Heart Will Go On," which is quite funny because every time I see you, I feel you, and that is how my heart goes on. Do you know what I mean? Did you get it? No. Financials. It had a budget of 200 million US dollars, which is probably the equivalent to about 500 or 600 in today's money, by the way. So it was a big, huge, mega deal. However, that being said, it managed to make back to present day 2.26 billion US dollars. That's billion, people, billion with a capital B.
Oh, aye.
So
That's so many Fredo bars. So many.
it done all right, mate. It done all right. It held its own. In fact, I wrote down it was the 25th anniversary re-release in the cinemas there, and it made quite a few million as well worldwide. But I wrote down, I forgot to obviously write it in the same paragraph, but it's still doing well, like you said, mate. You know what I mean?
Aye.
And so much so that award-wise, Titanic won 11 Oscars. 11 Oscars,
Aye.
mate, including Best Picture and Best Director. But none of the actors or actresses won an Oscar for Titanic. Kate Winslet and Gloria Stewart were nominated for Best Actress and Best Supporting Actress, but they both lost out, which was a surprise.
Aye, I did think. I thought this is because who do you call her? Kate Winslet. She's won an Oscar, hasn't she?
Mm-hmm. Aye.
So I thought she won it for this, but
No, she won it later for a film that I'll probably never ever see. One of the
aye.
kind of deep films, I think it was. But I remember her Oscar speech. That was all the fucking news and all that. Like she was, well, I suppose she is a national celebrity, but you know the way mainstream news in Britain goes. If Britain does anything, fucking news at 10. Bong. Kate Winslet wins an Oscar. Dun, World War III starts.
That would have
All
been.
right, Kate Winslet is World War III. Nah, Kate Winslet, but aye, that's smashing, mate.
Aye. That would have been the days of old Trevor McDonald, wouldn't it? It would have been old Trevor would have been telling us. Got a lot of time for old Trevor, so I have.
So I liked old Trevor. Hello, good evening. It is news. Better than that, Hugh Edwards, let me tell you. I was going to say he's got his finger in a few pies, but that would be very unapt
Oh,
to say that.
fucking hell, man.
IMDb,
Oh.
mate, it's got a 7.9 out of 10. And Rotten Tomatoes critic score of 88 percentings out of 100 percentings. So it's still well regarded and well thought of as movies go.
Aye, it's, again, mate, after watching it myself, I went, aye, it's right. I mean, there's people who's not watch it because they've been told it's a love story. And it is a love story, right? But see the second half of the film. Right, I'll say the first hour is for the lady porn, as I've started to call it, know what I mean? It's just that's there, aye. But see after it, see the whole fucking disaster movie stuff that we all know and love. It is superb. See the tempo and all that goes into it, the panic, everything. And I don't know how close it kept to true events, but and I kind of told the story. What I'm guessing was first person accountancy there, you know what I mean? So,
Aye.
but
Aye.
aye,
Like I
it
said,
was
I wasn't going to go in on this. 20 years later, Jim Cameron came back, and the only things that he wanted to apologise for was the Scottish quartermaster that blows his own head off. That never happened. So his family got an apology and all that kind of stuff. But everything else is kind of as factual as they think it is today. Do you know what I mean? So it was stupidly accurate, man.
aye, definitely. But we're talking about Kate Winslet. Oh, none of the actors getting an award for an Oscar, you know what I mean? But there was so many different people considered for these main roles. But obviously, we've got wee Leo, right? He obviously got the role. But what was it? Matthew McConaughey, Tom Cruise, and Brad Pitt were all considered for that role. Know what I mean? So you get the pretty boy, maybe no the Tom Cruise, but unless that is up some people's streets, I don't know. But I don't think Titanic was long enough for Tom Cruise to have his running scene. You know what I mean?
Definitely no, mate. Definitely no. Plus, when the water got to about ankle height, they've been up to his neck, you know what I mean? So it's been fucking a bit harrowing. Unless he had his
Uh,
inflatable platform shoes on.
but the same way Leo's part, Winslet's part as well, and Nicole Kidman, Cameron Diaz, Jodie Foster, Sharon Stone, Gwyneth Paltrow, and even Madonna were considered for that part. So there you go, mate. Could have been having like a prayer on the Titanic there, know what I mean?
I just don't even know why she was considered for any kind of role after Dick Tracy, by the way. Fuck's sake.
It's it's mad, mate. See how many times a fucking name pops up and I'm like, I mean, what can it be? Is it like to promote it further? Or Madonna's in this, know what I mean? I know she was massive, but
No,
come
man,
on.
no, she can't act. She was in that. She was in something else. Was it a kind of a romantic movie in the late 80s, early 90s? Was it True Blue or something? She was in that.
Mm.
And again, maybe I'm wrong in that title. Somebody can correct me if they want to put it in one of our socials. But
But you know
no.
when one it was like about some Argentinian politician or something?
Oh, Avita. She done that.
Aye,
She was
Avita.
actually all right in that, by the way. She was all right in that.
Aye,
But again,
aye.
she had to start singing in it, didn't she? Don't cry for me, Argentina.
Oh, I can just imagine she gets after like when they survive the Titanic. She's like, "Hey, back in the groove." I don't know why she's singing it like a Scottish guy at a football game, but there you
No,
go.
I don't either, mate. I don't either. Is that you finished, then? Where are you off to? Holiday. But I've not. I liked some of Madonna's early stuff and all that, and she was a bit of a ride in her heyday. But my fondest memory of Madonna, the new, is the guy standing on her cape on the stage and her falling down all the stairs. I thought it was fucking brilliant, man. And then she had the cheek and audacity to fire the poor guy.
Oh,
Bitch.
fucking hell, man. But aye, talking about, mate, I was very surprised with this. See, watching this back, right? No, Billy Zane, right? He's no exactly considered the best in the business, shall we say, right? But see, watching this, mate, I thought he played his character fucking superb. Like, I genuinely fucking hate that character.
You've took a note right off my page. Again, it was him and Rosie's mum, that bitch, man. But him
Aye.
especially, just what a party. I've always liked Billy Zane. He's, as you
Aye.
say, he's never been an A-lister, but he's never dialed it in. He's always been a right good actor. Good, but in this, mate, you're right. You're so right. He plays the part of the aristocracy, chauvinistic, control freak, angry man so well, man. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Mate, I was, I mean, I was a child that liked his film The Phantom, know what I mean? It's probably no thought of well, know what I mean? It's probably shite now if I went back and watched it, but I
Thought of
thoroughly
well in
enjoyed
my
it.
house. Thought of well in my house. When I say my house, I mean in there.
But aye, mate, it's just see just everything, man. See just everything he does, even when there's no panic for him to be acting like an asshole, he acts like a pure asshole, man. You're like, oh, I want to hit you.
See, even the way he doesn't recognise Jack in a suit. It's just,
Aye,
and then he says,
fucking...
then she points out to him and goes, "Oh, my lord, almost passed for a gentleman. Extraordinary." Walks away. He's so scathing, man. But you know he's not even doing it to be nasty. He's just doing it because that's the way it is. That is how the class system was in 1912, man.
Aye.
It's almost like door to door with kind of Game of Thrones stuff. You know what I mean? Although they're meant to be medieval England is obviously. I know Game of Thrones isn't England, but that kind of stuff is like 400, 500, 600 years apart, but it's still in that century, and it's.
I know, mate. See, that's the thing I kind of see watching it again. Look, this time, that's the thing I kind of took home for this time. Like, what was more glaring this time for me was the fucking see the pure differences in class, and that's what I was going to ask you. See, when it came to evacuating people, was that how they did that? Go right, get the class mob in, get them on the boats first, and just leave the scum down there locked for a bit, hold them back.
Even the women and children thing, that was still class. That was still a class system as well. Do you know what I mean? Because when you think, I mean, three of the most wealthiest men on the planet Earth were on that boat. You can fucking bet your bottom dollar they weren't waiting. You know what I mean?
Aye.
But obviously we don't know just how underhand it was and who took a bung or anything like that. But it's a shame, a fucking shame to think mother of five maybe lost out in a boat to Henry Astor or fucking Esme. You know what I mean? It's ludicrous, man.
Aye.
You're right.
It's just that's
The class system was a big smack in the face watching it properly.
Aye.
Right for the get-go. Do you know what I mean? I mean, like, the first class passengers' dogs were taken down to the third class passengers' fucking deck to do their shites.
Oh, mate. It's fucking... aye. Well, admit, it was... For some reason, I just watched... I watched this as like a disaster film, know what I mean? Didn't take home all the other aspects of it, sort of thing. Because obviously, the lovey-dovey push at the start, right? The lady porn, as I'm calling it now. Know what I mean? Oh, it's Lady in the Tramp. It is Lady in the Tramp. Know what I mean? Oh, she wants a bit of roughage, that lady.
I mean, for people that, if you've not seen this, what the fuck's your problem, right? Very, very nutshelly. Rose, who's been forced to marry a wealthy man, Cal, falls in love with Jack, who's a wee arse, a wee guy with the arse in his trousers. You know what I mean? He's a talented artist though, and they're both aboard the unsinkable Titanic. But unfortunately, ship hits the iceberg, endangers their lives. Now, you're right in what saying about this is all caveated around what a love story, and that's true. But we talked about it. It's no such a in your face love story. The love story Disney overtake the fucking gravitas of the historical event that was the sinking of Titanic. And even looking back at it again last night, Rosie's story is quite a tragic one. It's quite interesting because she's what is she 17 again in this? She's meant to be 17 or something.
Yep.
And she's wanting to rather commit suicide than marry this guy. And she said when she walked on, well, Old Rose describes it perfectly. She went, everybody's seen Titanic as the most luxurious, amazing feat ever built by man, but I saw it as a slave ship. I'm like, whoa, because I was getting put on board this to marry a guy that I hated and all that kind of stuff. So she's close to suicide, and that's how she meets Jack and all that. And it blossomed. Their friendship blossoms first, and she's overwhelmed by his. And she's surprised as well because she's been brought up first class, so she's taken aback and surprised at how intelligent he is, how talented he is, how human he probably is. Because I don't suppose, like Cal portrays and her mother portrays, that MD underneath them is utter shite, uneducated, stupid, and there to make them better. Do you know what I mean?
Aye. I definitely, mate. It's like what I say is, mate, it's the forbidden love story. Know what I mean? High class society, lassie, been forced into a marriage that she doesn't agree with, and she comes across a fucking filthy street urchin, know what I mean? And goes, oh, I like me a piece of that roast beef there. Know what I mean?
Do you want to put your mint sauce in between my bits of roast beef? Me man. See, you make great points, right? And I've tried to explain the class system there as well. Billy Zane's character's awesome. Awesome, right? Absolutely brilliant. Very early on, I'm going to ask you about your favourite character before we get into it a bit and all that. And I'll tell you mine. Who is your favourite character? Would it be Billy Zane?
Well, I think it might be just on the fucking the premise that I fucking hate him. Just hate the guy. But I'm going, and well, spoiler alert if you've not seen it, he doesn't fucking die. You know what I mean? I'm like, fucker.
Nah, no, not on that night, obviously, but again, we've watched a good few films that the perfect baddie does exist. And it's because you walk out the theatre fucking hating the guy. You know what I mean? Even Guardians of the Galaxy 3, the creator guy and all that, fucking wanted to kill him. Do you know what I mean? For what he done to wee Rocket and all that. But the perfect bad guy does exist, and he is a close second for me in this movie.
Who is it? So let me guess. Is his man? His right hand man?
Oh no.
No.
He's a fucking tool, man. He just does what he's told. Do you know what I
I'll
mean?
tell you who I like, I know. I'll tell you who I like. I like Kathy Bates.
That's mine.
There you go.
She's my favourite character. See, for the screen time she's afforded, she's such a fucking overpowering, booming persona. And that's the way she's meant to be, because like the other ladies describe her, she's new money. She wasn't reared on silver spoons and stuff like that. Her husband died and made a fortune, and obviously she's got the fortune, but she's not lost any of her scruples. She befriends Jack. She defends Jack at the dinner table. She also defends Rose the first time she meets her and Cal, because Cal orders dinner for her, and Rose will have the lamb medium rare with mint sauce, and then he asks her, "You like lamb, didn't you?"
No.
and then Molly can't help herself and says something else and says, "Aye, well, maybe you could do that for her as well, Cal." So all the other proper ladies don't like her. I just think she's fabulous. She dresses Jack and all that, and then she's a cool head at the time of crisis as well. Fucking telling people to get a grip, slapping them and all that. I love Kathy Bates. I think Kathy Bates is
the Kathy Bates is good money. It's good people. But mate, there's even a bit I know. Like, her character is the only one that even mentions about going back to get survivors. Know what I
Aye,
mean?
that's your husband's.
Aye. And it's the only person in that boat that is saying we should go back.
Aye.
And she gets shouted down, and the rest don't even back her. Know what I mean? So she's like
It's
one of the most human fucking characters I know.
it's horrible. Everybody's got their heads done, or the woman. She's like, what's wrong with you? It's your men in there. We can go back
Aye.
and get another 20 people in here. And nobody speaks up for her. And she's told to sit down or she'll be shot.
Aye.
She's
It's
just
fucking.
disgusted, man.
I know what I mean. It's like it's very revealing of the class thing. It was showing you that the poorer people were more normal and fucking try to help each other out and all that sort of thing. Know what I mean? We help each other survive. Whereas the well-to-dos were just, apart from that, special shout out to that guy, see with the top hat. They go like, come on, sir, there's a boat here for you. Oh, no, no, no. Get that life jacket to fuck. Wouldn't mind a brandy, but... And his wee man's just on there with him like that. Oh, you crazy old bastard.
Can I have it, sir? That's brilliant, isn't it? No, fuck off. I would like a brandy. I like you, son. I'm sitting with you.
I like the cut of your jip.
Aye.
But
So there we go.
Aye. His characters go Kathy Bates and Billy Zane's. And I didn't think I'd be saying that about Billy Zane. But he's fucking... Yeah, his man, he's a good bad guy. Without being last super bad guy. Know what I mean? He's just a horrible cunt. Played it sublime.
And he wears his fucking guy liner superbly.
Oh,
So
aye. Oh, aye.
Takes a shine off.
Takes
Takes a shine off his wig. You know what I mean?
Mate, even to highlight how bad he was, he's trying to get on boats, right? And the big panic is now, right, we're all going to fucking die. And he thinks he's getting on a boat, and the wee guy goes, fuck off. And he finds a lost child and just goes, come on, I've she's got. Fucking yes. Yes.
Aye. Fucking coward. Blanket area seat and all that.
Aye. Oh, fucking
So,
superb, man.
Later on, when old Rose tells you that he suffered in a big crash in the 20s or 30s and he put a bullet in his fucking mouth. Yes.
Aye. Oh, superb, man. But I was going to ask you, I know you'll know what to be anal about it, but the people need to know. We need to know. It suggested that the boat was going too quick to avoid the iceberg. Was that the fact?
That was true. Very early on in the scene, as you've seen, right? Mr. Esme, who works for the White Star Company, tells the captain that how we getting on and all that. And the captain says, we're going fine. We're making good progress. We've got all the boilers aren't lit. So there's 4 boilers that aren't even getting used. They're just going at a nice spread of space. And as the captain says, it's all good. But Esme, he gets stars in his eyes. He wants to be the biggest, the best, and the fastest thing on the water. So for publicity, he forces the captain into lighting the other 4 boilers. Against the captain's advice, by the way, because they're still breaking the ship in. So if the other 4 boilers weren't lit, the Titanic would not have met that iceberg. If it had stayed on course as agreed, at speed agreed, then the iceberg would have passed and the Titanic would have hopefully have made New York. So that's true, mate. All because a company director wanted to be the best. It kind of forced the crash. You know what I mean? So shows you little things like that.
Because even when he's getting evacuated, he sneaks onto a boat and just sits with his head down, hope not to get noticed, man. And you're just like that. You could get under a fucking bed with a top hat, you bastard. That's fucking...
Aye.
But, aye.
And again, that just highlights status, class, and you'll do it because I'm telling you you'll do it. I mean, see, in maritime law, right? Nobody, apart from an admiral of a fleet, right? But the captain of a ship cannot be superseded by anybody. I mean, if the president of the United States was on that boat and told the captain to do something and the captain says no, when I had a leg to stand on. But that was another thing that was kind of, the captain was made to look a bit silly and aloof and indecisive and stuff like that. The films that kind of portrayed that this was his last voyage as a captain. He was retiring after this, which was true, but it was making it as if it was because he was losing his kind of cool, and that was a lot of shite. That was a lot of shite. His family again have come out and said that since, and they've had an apology as well. So, but again, another great part played by a great actor who we've just lost, isn't it?
Yeah, we just lost him, King Theoden. Oh, my boy.
I know. Can you imagine him when he hit the iceberg? If he'd have said the Theoden speech, "If this is to be our end, then it should be such an end."
Mate, apparently I know, right? I don't know how true it is, but he only got that part because Robert De Niro had to pull it because he became ill. I think he had some sort of intestine infection or something like
Oh, never knew that.
that. So well, it was out there on the internet. I did go perusing, so it could be true.
Can you imagine that? But I want you to light the next 4 boilers. You want me to light the 4 boilers? Yeah? Those 4 fucking boilers down there.
After Jack and that have done the deed, he's just like that. You.
Brilliant. Or that cunt Jackie Brown when he plays him and Mad Fonda. Wanna fuck? All right. Not 10 minutes later, he fucking shoots on the car park because she can't stop yakking. Where is she? I shot her. You what?
Well,
Well,
mate, you did mention all the richest people. Well, 3 of the richest people on the planet at the time were on that boat. What about the conspiracy about the Titanic? That it was the Titanic was built, but they changed the name of the boat and put everybody on an old boat and named it the Titanic. And it was apparently to get rid of these guys.
Legend has it, that's all true. The actual ship they put them on was the Olympia, which is the ship that came to save the passengers for the Titanic. They swapped them about and all that. But maritime experts over the last 10, 15 years have totally disproved that by measuring the actual wreckage. And there's something 100 feet of difference between the 2 boats, and it's just not possible. It's a conspiracy theory, which is a smashing one, by the way. It's a great conspiracy theory, but it can't be substantiated. But the theory of doing them in can be. It's just the boat didn't change. You know what I mean? But Ben, the guy that makes the decision, is Esme, and he's on the boat. So he couldn't guarantee that if they did hit an ice, he didn't know it was an iceberg fucking 100 miles down the line or 200 miles down the line to hit. And if it did some miraculous way, how could they have known he would have survived it? Or the boat wouldn't have hit it and went down in 3 seconds rather than the slow 2 hour, 35, 47 minutes that it took to sink. So it's a good conspiracy theory, but I was right into it, looking about it and all that. Looking at the 2 boats.
I can see you look at the 2. They do look similar. They look very fucking similar. You're like that.
Oh, there's not a lot to put between them and all, but apparently it just all comes into measurements, and it's just it's a non-starter. There's a photo out there as well. I urge anybody to Google it and just type in Titanic compared to today's biggest cruise liner.
Aye,
and it's fucking tiny.
Aye, it doesn't even get to the deck, doesn't it?
No. This massive behemoth feat of ingenuity in 1912 is about 1/10 the size of today's biggest floating fucking city. You know what I mean?
Aye.
Amazing.
Superb, man. But see the film itself as well, right? I know this is going to sound a lot of pish, blah blah blah, right? But see this film, mate, it captures the fucking panic and desperation perfectly, man.
Aye.
Like, I think better than most other like disaster films. Because let's see the fucking
100%.
just the desperation of just every cunt, just even especially as sees the boat is like obviously starting to go into the water and the back end starts to tip up.
Aye.
See the desperation of people just fucking clinging on to everything, man. It's
Aye.
something else.
Again, this was a kind of hot in the heels of Jurassic Park, where CGI was just coming into a new phase, a new era, and like Steven Spielberg did in Jurassic Park, James Cameron used it but didn't abuse it. I think the best example for abusing CGI would be the Phantom Menace. It was just, I like the Phantom Menace, I love it and all that, but what do you call him? Who's my name? My he's went a blank. Mr. Star Wars.
Dodgy boy.
Lucas. Aye. He just get panned for overuse of it, and it was rightly so. And I think he took that into the Clone Wars as well, where, come on, where's all the practical stuff? Anyway, Graf Piest, this film's CGI use was amazing. For the very first start, where you see the boat, to, like you're saying there, the sinking, the people clinging to stuff, the water coming in, the backgrounds, explosions, everything. It's great. It's great.
Aye.
Absolutely brilliant.
The special effects are brilliant, man. It's even watching it. I've got it on Blu-ray. Know what I mean? Fancy, but aye, it still stands up. I mean, there are some bits you go, "Oh, that's fake," but come on. But see the boat coming about. Like, see the practical stuff they've done. Superb, absolutely superb. See the water coming down the big grand staircase. You could only do that once because it would direct everything.
That's
So,
right, mate. I didn't even know that until I done the trivia kind of side of things. See, the thing you've got to remember as well about this film, and I think it's what excited me at the time when it came out. I was about 19. This is, like you say, the first part of the film takes care of itself, but it's the second part that you're in. You're fucking.
aye.
There wasn't a Wikipedia back then. Not everybody in the dug knew how the Titanic sank. They knew it hit an iceberg and went down. End of story. But in
Aye.
this, it gives you the mechanics and how it happened and how it snapped, and then how the bit buoyancy played a fucking huge part in the second bit going down. And it's so morbidly curious, man. It engages me all the time. It really does. See, another brilliant thing that James Cameron done in this movie that probably that a lot of people don't know. The scene set in 1912, i.e. the whole movie, except for the present day scenes and the opening and the ending credits, have a total length of 2 hours and 40 minutes, and that's the exact time it took for the Titanic to sink. Also, the collision with the iceberg reportedly lasted 37 seconds, which is how long the collision scene in the movie was as well. So, James Cameron knew he was doing that.
Aye. But it's even seen to just the pure attention to detail, right? Because obviously reading up on this to drop in smidgens of trivia, but see the part where Rose is staring up at the stars, right? Like that fucking astrophysicist guy, Neil deGrasse Tyson, says, well, actually, that is not the same sky that would have been there the night the Titanic sank and all that. So it's kind of, see for the anniversary, what is it, the 30th or 40th anniversary there?
The 25th.
And the 25th anniversary. James Cameron went back and filmed the stars that would be there at the exact same time and put it in the remastered version. And it's just like, who's up, prick?
Aye.
You know what I mean?
Aye, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Only somebody like Tyson could come out and say that.
Aye.
And that's what fucking spoiled your viewing of this movie, you fucking
I know.
cunt.
That's
I bet you hated Moon Knight, fuck's sake. 2,000 years of constellations going by in 10 seconds. I bet you hated that. Or did you pause it?
That's how people they'll find something in anything just to go, oh, that's shite. But fucking, that's what I was kind of asking. See the questions like, did this really happen on that? Because like obviously Cameron spent more time visiting the Titanic than the people that died on the Titanic spent on the Titanic. Know what I mean?
Aye.
So I was just because, like you say, it is giving you all the details how the compartment started to fall and how the ship broke and how it went down and all that. So
Do you know what? There's one thing I'd like to tell you. You might know about it already. You might know. Some people might know. And might know. And this is just a fact that wasn't addressed in the movie. See, as the boat was sinking, there were actually passengers who were caught in airlocks. So water wasn't getting in, but they were maybe in a cabin or an enclosed area. And they ended up exploding as the ship went down and get deeper and deeper and deeper. They were either crushed like that, the poor guys in the submarine no long ago, or the pressure got too much and their heads exploded. So you could be either waiting to die like that, or you could have drowned in around a minute or a minute and a half. That's a fucking rather drowned, mate.
It's no nice, that is it?
No,
It's
no.
like, just sitting there like that. You can hear it. What fucking?
Aye. If you don't know what I'm talking about, if you ever watch the film Scanners, watch that, man. Fucking.
Aye. Oh, fuck! I've not seen that in fucking years, man. But aye.
Like you're asking as well, there is other characters in that the movie pays homage to. Some no so famous, others rather famous that go down in folklore, like the band. The band indeed did play down with the ship. The captain did go down with the ship. There's an elderly couple around 2 minutes 30 into the film, which we discussed last week, didn't we? There are a couple seen hugging on the bed while the water floods into their room, while their owners, they were the owners of Macy's department store in New York, Roselia Ida Strauss and Isildio Strauss, both of whom died in the Titanic. Ida was offered a seat on the lifeboat but refused so that she could stay with her husband, saying, "As we have lived together, so we shall die together." There was a scene filmed that depicted this moment, but was cut from the final version, sadly. It was Mrs. Strauss who originally said, "Where you go, I go," which ties into our Backdraft episode.
Yeah.
And that inspired Rosie's same line in the film because she said it as well.
Aye.
I like that.
That's quite emotional with that. In fact, since we're talking about scenes, mate, any favourite scenes that stand out, mate?
Aye, this is where things get. I'm going to get right back to the start of the film because I remember how it made me feel in the cinema. The first 5-10 minutes of the film are present day, right? They dived into the ship. Bill Paxton's character, they're looking for this diamond. They're looking for the heart of the ocean, which is the big jewel that Rose wears and all that. And that seems to be the focal point for him. But they get old Rose on board, and then she goes into her story. And it's when she's looking at the wreckage under the water, and the camera moves after the wreckage, and ever so slightly just moves into 1912. And the ship's docked, it's ready to leave Southampton, it's hustle and bustle, it's motors, it's people, period costumes, it's fucking so well done, man. It's just that I remember in the cinema being transported back in time when that scene, that shot. I'm like, fuck, here we go, we're there. Just amazing. And then there's even the car, Cal's entourage car pulling in, meep, out the fucking road. The camera pan for Kate Winslet getting out the motor for her reveal is just tremendous. She looks up and you still don't even see all of her face. You just see half her face with that hat and all that. And you're like, yo, I like you. You're nice looking. I just felt that whole scene was superbly done. What an opening to a movie, man. It's like, right, here we go. Strap yourself in. Let's hear old Rosie's story. Even she says just before it, do you want to hear this story or not? to Bill Paxton, he's like, all right, fuck's sake.
All right.
Throughout the film, it transforms him as well. All he's interested in is the fucking heart of the ocean. That's what the expedition's all about. But by the end of her story, they're all greeting, aren't they?
Aye. Aye, even the big guy. Fucking, he was getting all bravado and all that. Aye. There's a
But
wee
he's one
single
of yours.
tear.
Aye, he's one of yours, mate.
Oh, oh, I like the bit where the band just decides to play on. No, I mean, it's to see that, mate. It was just like, aye, I like that. No, I mean, I don't know what it was, but it was just the whole fucking. Like, we're not going to make it, so we may as well play on anyway. Know what I mean? Go out on your shield, sort of thing. Know what I mean? It was just. Plus, then it gives you the whole montage. Obviously, that old couple. Then there's the Moss, Saint Wayne's, and all that. Fucking, you're going.
Oh, do you know who the mother? Do you see who the mother was?
Aye, fucking thing, mate. What's the matter with Wolfie?
Aye, John Connor's stepmom. What's wrong with Wolfie? I can hear him barking. Wolfie's fine, honey. Wolfie's just fine. She's a kind of bit part player in a lot of shit, isn't she?
Aye, but aye, mate, it was that, mate, because it just I don't know what it is, mate. I think it's just it's like the signal of the sign, like new people are going to die. They're dying now. Know what I mean? And because the song they play and all that is just acceptance. And you go, oh no, oh no.
That's one of the many moments in the second part of the film where you start to remember that human beings did die in this. It's not just about the story. It's not just about the lore. People did fucking die. And right at the start of the film, when the camera sub goes down and Bill Paxton's doing that stupid commentary when the big guy makes fun of him and all that. Fuck you, talk to. That's real footage. There's a pair of fucking specs down there. A pair of fucking specs that have been lying down there that were on somebody's face over 100 years ago, helping them see, you know what I mean? Inadequate fucking objects that just depict there was life down there, man. Oh, not down there, but up there.
Aye.
Amazing,
another
mate.
one, mate. Another scene. I say fucking. I don't know why, but it's just no, not that. Fuck's sake, I was going like that. What the fuck is this? Is this fucking face off again?
A better ballerina moves come in handy in that wee enclosed space, let me tell you.
But it was, mate, it's when the Jack character's handcuffed to the pipe or the pole or whatever the fuck it is, and then you're starting to see the water and it's creeping up the corridor. Mate, see just that, mate. I don't know what it is, but you're just here. It's like it was like back to backdraft. How this fucking fire's coming to get you.
You just took the words right in my mouth. I'm just going to say that to you. That's why it means like that, because the water looks alive. The water looks says, hello, here I'm fucking coming. The water is taking on its own entity. It's just physics. It's nothing else. It's just physics. As the boat goes down, the water goes up. Hello. But it's just filmed in such a way, and Jack just stops for a second to look at it and go, you man. Do you know what I mean?
No, it was it kind of reminded me of see The Shining. See when the wee boys going down the corridors. That's the way it kind of felt, because it was just like white walls in the rooms, and then just something's fucking you're like that. Oh, here, I don't like that.
see watching this and Backdraft, Tower Inferno, Poseidon, and all that. See for all the different ways you can die in that. I think the most creepiest bastard moments in all these films is when the lights start flickering. Oh no, I don't like scaff. I want to see how I'm going to go. Jeez, give me a light.
Wait, it's fucking because that's just panicking just now. No, like it's obviously there's a part of the boat. It eventually gets to the fucking engine room. That's the water in it, and then all the lights go off, and everybody goes, "Oh!" Shake themselves out. But there was another scene I thought, and it kind of hammered home that there was no hope. See when they start firing off the flares into the sky, and you're like, oh, people will see that, and then you get this big pan shot, and it's just the boat in the middle of the ocean, and there's fuck all for miles. Know what I
That's it.
mean? Just blackness. Off.
That's it. Aye, you're right. There's nothing truer. I mean, because they've already signalled to the Carpathia and the Olympia that I'm not going to make it in time, but they're on their way. So the flares are the last resort, just in case there's an unregistered vessel or something there. And like you say, it pans off. It could pan away for 10 mile away and just lights up the fact that there's fucking nothing there apart from icy cold water. I forgot to say in that last thing that I really liked about the whole opening scene and all that. Just before the ship, well, the order's given to start the engines and we get into the boiler room. And as CGI goes, by the way, flawless.
Yeah.
Absolutely flawless. These big pistons just fucking starting to crank over. You got me right. To work in that boiler room must have been fucking hellish. Imagine that was your job, just in 50-degree heat with no fresh air, shoveling coal for 2-3 hours at a time into a furnace. Jesus Christ, man.
Aye.
You just get the scale of this engine room. It goes on forever. It looks like the fucking full length of the boat. And it's the power of these propellers, and you just see the pistons, man. It's amazing.
Aye, that is, man. Like I say, it's like the CGI in this. There's a few parts you can tell it's fake people. Know what I mean? But
green screen.
you can still tell that the movie some CGI. Aye, but for the most part, it's well done, superb. See the transition and all. See the end of the film when it's like, well, I take it that Rose has passed away in her sleep, sort of thing. Know what I mean? And then you go into the sea and you come across and see like you're talking about, see the old wreckage changing back into the boat again. It's fucking superb, man.
Oh, my head! Oh, don't do it to me.
Oh,
I just stopped greeting before this podcast. That
oh.
is a fucking delight, that last scene. Now, don't get me wrong. If you're Jack, you're waiting at that cloak for her again. I wouldn't be going like that. I've been waiting for you. I'd have been, you cunt! Size of that door!
There it is. There it is. I've got this in capitals. Was the room on the door? Was there?
Aye. Again, you can Google. There's outtakes and there's photographs of behind the scenes of them in the studio in the water and Rose on this door. It's fucking huge. Castaway's raft was fucking quarter the size of it. You know what I mean? And it's just one of probably the silliest bits in the whole film where you're saying don't let go and then you let go.
Mm.
I know what it's meant to be. It's like never let go in your heart, never leave me. You know what I mean? I'm going to die here, but you're like, oh, fucking hell, man. But that's a tremendous end, man.
I was always of the opinion if Jack had been on the door when they floated as much and they were in the water. That's what I kind of took for it.
You're making excuses there. Well, maybe you're right, but maybe the two of them could have fucking paddled to another one of the bits of a million debris that were floating about and help. But then why mess with a good story? It was a tragic end to a requited love. It was probably like Romeo and Juliet at sea, I suppose, where it was just everything was against them, society was against them, fate was against them. You know what I mean? So, but
temperature.
I'm fucking right. But like you say, when death comes, it's requited. It's she goes back to where she was happiest. And as they've gone through the ship as well, and the wee guys open the door as if waiting you. You know what I mean?
Aye, it's not because again, soon I was looking around the people that were in the room. It is people that you know died. Know what I mean? And it's like, oh, we've been waiting on you, waiting for the ghost ship. Know what I mean? Be like, oh, it's kind of nice that, but at the same time, like, hold on now. Are we on this boat for eternity?
Aye.
That's
And
fucking.
I've often wondered if, like, Cal and her ma, the bad bastards that all died, they were on it, I know, somewhere. Just
Aye.
in their in me room kind of thing. Oh, they're waiting to go at Rose Hen. I was a bastard to you. I just want to apologise for the way I acted then, you know. It was my guy liner, it was giving me the itchy eyes and that, and I was awfully angry. Did you bring
Yeah.
your necklace in?
I'll tell you that all. People dying. I want to give a wee shout out to a woman. Shout out to her. Right. Miss Anne Elizabeth Isham, I think was her name, refused to leave her dog behind and decided to stay on the ship with a Great Dane. And see, when she was discovered frozen to death with her arms wrapped around her Great Dane. Moan the dogs, fuck your cats.
She was a big fucking hairy canine human popsicle, so she was.
So there you go. Shout out to your old Liz. You done the right thing. Oh, sorry, old Anne. Know what I mean?
Aye.
I'm not leaving my fucking dog. And that's what I'm saying to you. Even back then, mate. Even back then, the dog doesn't die in the film.
Oh, plenty did, which was quite funny.
Aye.
Along with the horses and all that.
Aye.
But there was a lot of wildlife. There's a lot of cargo in the boat. Again, I'm not going to get into that. You can read up on that and see exactly what else fucking lies at the bottom of the ocean and all that. But funny, I know one of the lines when they're on the door, and it's as if they've hit an impasse. They don't know what to say, and Jack just says, "I don't know about you, but I intend to write a strongly worded letter to the White Star Line about all of this." Hey, hey. Funny to the last, wee man. Funny to the last.
Aye. So, I mean, I don't know about you, Rose, but I kind of feel my balls. That's, so, I mean, well, since you mentioned that line, mate, have you got favourite lines for the film?
That was one of them. Aye. There's the famous ones, isn't there? There's draw me like one of your French girls wearing this. Okay. Only this. Oh, only.
I've said that. I've said that far too much to not be a French girl and not be drawn.
Aye, you say that an awful lot. You say that to diffuse situations and shit.
Aye, I do.
So you're talking shite, Chris. Ugh, just draw me like one of your French girls. I really liked it at the end when Rose has obviously been rescued and they're pulling into New York and she sees New York and all that. And the captain comes over and goes like, "Can I get your name, love? Can I get your name, please?" And she just thinks about it and she says, Rose Dawson. She takes Jack's second name. Wow.
Yeah.
We're good people, hen. Partly because she doesn't want to be fucking found. And secondly, because she's Jack's woman. You know what I mean?
She's Jack's squeeze. She's Jack's crumpet.
I was his posh totty.
Oh, mate.
What about you? You
I've
get
only
any
got-
favours?
I've got two, and funnily enough, both of them come for Rose. It's the one, there's a part where Cal was going, "Are you running to him? You're going to be his common whore or something like that?" And she goes, "I'd rather be his whore than your wife." And you're like that. Oh, it's a kick in the nuts.
On your cell, hen. You done well there.
Fucking, oh, have some of that. Boof. But and the other man is Old Rose. And I think it was just to like, put the bow on the film, really. And it was just, he saved me in every way a person can be saved. I don't even have a picture of him. He only exists in my memory. Know what I mean? And I was like, I'm not greeting you.
Oh, it's bursting out my chest here. Bursting, I tell you. The roasting this is fucking unbearable.
I must have pulled a nose hair out there and my eyes are watering.
I've got an awful lot of... it's brilliant. I've got an awful lot of time for Victor Garber, who plays Thomas Andrews. Now, Thomas Andrews is the guy that designed Titanic. Well, one of the people that designed Titanic, but he was on the boat, maiden voyage. And there's a great bit where he's standing at the clock, because he knows He's a fucking engineer. He knows that the boat's going down. But Esme
Aye.
comes in and says to him, "Look, we can't be sinking. The ship's unsinkable." And Andrew's, his wee Irish accent just goes, "Fucking, she's made of iron, sir. I can assure you, she'll sink." You're like, that's fucking put his gas. And that seems to be where Esme just looks and goes like that. Really? He was just convinced himself the fucking boat wasn't ended.
No.
Oh.
So if you've not been paying attention, you prick. Go and
Aye.
check the angle of the horizons.
I know. In fact, you can't see because it's pitch black out there. Fire off another flare so we can see for 3 seconds. That'd be good.
Mate, see, that was good as well. You see where the ship was sinking? See, every so often it would show you like a side view, and you would see it's not gone the full chamois sort of thing yet, but you could see it was starting to dip, and you're going, oh shit.
I'd urge you and I'd urge anybody as well to, at one point, listen to this with a pair of earphones in, because all through that second part of the film, there's a lot of unnoticed background noise, a lot of groans and creaks and stuff you really don't get, but you hear the boat almost fucking moan, because you've got to remember it's fucking sitting like yawning, and all the weight is gravity as well, man. So that's why it snaps, obviously. And see when the boiler room doors start getting shut, and they poor guys, man.
That's what I'm like. It's going to be the worst job ever. Like, fucking, you're in there shoveling away for hours on end, probably getting burnt, lungs fault, well, fuck knows what. And then some asshole up the top crashes and then goes, I look them in there. Like, you prick.
Close the bulkhead doors, which again should have been shut fucking right away. But
there
was just that much toing and froing, breakdown in communication. But there was time that it was realised that it was too late, because I think it's bulkhead 4 had been flooded by that time, and that was a point of no return. I think Andrews says that as well in the film. I can't quite remember. So whether that had been shut or no, boat was going down. It was just inevitable. But you're right, mate. It's like it goes back to like the Second World War, where submarine sailors knew there was an 80% chance of them dying down there. You know what I mean? Fucking job that would be.
Just another wee bit of trivia. I just want people to know about, and it's so that it's out there. Somebody put PCP in the catering's clam chowder and spiked everybody. Right? Now, people were going to hospital and all that, right? James Cameron went and spoke to Bill Paxton. Like, did you have the clam chowder? Aye. You know, go to hospital? He's like, no, I'm just going to drink these beers. Just read this bitch out. Fucking. I salute you.
I think we'll all have done that. PCP, fuck it. He's a drink.
Fucking. That's to this day, they still don't know who done it. But I watched that in an interview. I was like, somebody's spiking everybody. I mean, fair enough, a wee bit of fucking hash on it. Oh, we're all stoned at one up, but PCP, that's fucking like crystal meth, man.
I'm inclined to think it was actually Bill Paxton. No, I'll see it out. I know it's coming. Talk about James Cameron, right? The another bit of trivia, which I didn't know. I didn't know until I done my homework here. The hands seen sketching Rose. We knew they weren't Leonardo DiCaprio's, but they're actually James Cameron's. In post-production, Cameron, who is left-handed, mirror imaged the sketching shots so the artist would appear to be right-handed, like DiCaprio. So they were his wee hands.
He's talented, that boy. But but it's a mega film, man. Well, all the parts superb. CGI still brilliant. The practical effects, see just when the ship starts breaking apart, and like to the detail, it's like you see the planks of wood, like bits are staying longer and fucking all that stuff. I mean, it's just no like a cartoon, like a big jagged crack, like that's that away. It was just, it felt real. You know what I mean? Felt so real.
But then again, that was great. So the first bit's away done, and then the second half of the ship starts bobbing before obviously going down. So the writing in that was great because unlike it seemed to be most of the passengers, Jack knows kind of physics. He knows what's going to happen. So they try to get to the top of the back of the boat, which is now the top of the boat, as fast as possible. Because he even tells her, he says, "Look, when this goes under the water, it's going to pull us. The suction's going to pull us as well. And you need to take the deepest breath you've ever took and paddle for your life to get to the top again." Just you're like, fucking would never have thought of that. I'd have been done. You know what I mean? And as they're paddling up, you just see people getting down and trying to get up, and it's haunting, man. It's fucking so well done.
Aye, like I says, mate, I know people myself haven't watched it because of the romance thing and all that. You know what I mean? But watch it, you get through that shit. You know what I mean? Because there is fucking bits that entertain the people that aren't going there for the lady porn. You know what I mean? But it's the second half of the film is just fucking non-stop. See the tempo to it, the music, like he says. Well, I watched it to see the films with a soundbar and all that. So when the ship starts going off, it's not fucking my back. Fucking you hear it, know what I mean? It's just
see that big funnel, the big funnel falls down and fucking falls on a person, man, as well. Just
oh
crushing people
fuck.
in the water.
Aye, we
They're on the
Gino,
water.
I've taken to calling him.
His accent was terrible, by the way. Am I going to America? Are you Mario? Aye. It's a me.
Oh, fucking hell, man. But aye, it's man, it's brilliant. It's a brilliant film, man. And because there's a thing. It fucking I couldn't believe, right? Obviously, everybody calls the song the Titanic song, right? But it's obviously My Heart Will Go On. James Cameron actually had to be convinced to let Celine Dion sing at the top of it. He just wanted it as an instrumental.
All right.
You know what I mean?
That would have been very different.
Yeah.
That would have been number one for about a million weeks if it wasn't the case.
Yeah, I was going to say that, mate. That fucking thing was a phenomenon.
It was a phenomenon. That was the biggest selling single of that year. Obviously, I left it out of the what happened in '97 because it was going to be prevalent anyway. Because it obviously won an Oscar itself as well. Absolutely brilliant. See, one of the best bits we talked about Billy Zane's character, a Cal, is a fucking brilliant one of a great wee scene in itself is when they put Rose in the boat, the two of them, him and Jack, and then to try and convince her that everything's cool and all that, they've got another boat the other side of the ship, and as she's gone down, Cal just says to him, "You're a very convincing liar, Jack." And he goes, "Not as good as you, Cal." Oh, gonna kick you off here.
It's fucking aye, mate. Aye. Billy Zane, man. Fucking just I want to say steals the show for me, but aye. Just watching it again and going, just igniting that. I really fucking don't like you.
I mean, you're with Billy Zane, me with Kathy Bates. It proves that this film was so much more than Kate Winslet and Leonardo DiCaprio. Do you know what I mean? It really was. Every character, especially the main characters, have all got their great moments. So they have. I mean, Bill Paxton, the Old Rose, everybody, man, they're all great. They're all smashing.
Yeah.
Even fucking, would you cry him? Jonathan Hyde that plays Bruce Ismay. He's great and all.
Yeah, aye. To sum it up, for me, unless you've got anything else to say about it, now you went out there into the world.
Nah.
Without going too anal.
No, I don't want anything else. Listen, you do a lot worse than read up on the actual facts of the Titanic because it's fascinating. I've still not been, but I'm going to go to Belfast and go to the museum. I'd love to go to the New York one, but that'll be years down the line before I can get to that. I think it'd be great. But if I go to New York, I get to see my two morbid fucking curiosities. One's the Titanic, one's the 9/11 museum, obviously. But We've all got our hobbies and interests, haven't we? Mine seems to be human tragedy.
But aye, that was Titanic. Summed up perfectly. How would you score it out of 10, dear sir?
10. 10 out of 10.
Oh, it's a 10. Oh, it's good at a 10.
I'm biased as
Aye.
well because it's one of my like Chandler and Friends. It's his what do you call it? You like something you're not meant to like.
Oh, aye,
Guilty
guilty pleasure.
pleasures. One of my guilty
Aye.
pleasures. Love it.
Aye. Aye. I'm an 8. I think I'm an 8. Just
That's
because
fair.
of the first hour is the love story thing. Know what I mean? And like I said the bit before, I'm still that fucking immature way. I mean,
Nothing
but,
wrong with that, mate. Nothing wrong with
but
that
like
at
I
all.
say, anybody out there, it's late. The first hour of the film is Lady and the Tramp. Know what I mean? And then after that, we get to see a boat sinking, fucking shit going down, panic, disaster movie stuff. So
Mhm.
I'd encourage anybody that's not watched it to watch it. So
Do you know what? Everybody at £2.25 billion, the movie going for eternity, the human race can't be rang on this. They've been ranging a good few things, but £2.25 billion says it all. It says that a lot of diverse and different tasting movie people like this film, and it is. Chris has just alluded to it. He just proved it. Because even though there is the Lady and the Tramp's first hour or something like that, it's caveated by upbeat music, history, showing you the class system, introducing you to characters, their traits, their abilities, and it's all surrounding this iconic fucking boat. It's great, fucking smashing.
aye. But aye, that was Titanic, everybody. So hope you enjoyed it because I liked watching it. It's not one I usually go back and watch, but when I do watch it, I go, "That's actually a super film." That. But before we go on, I know we are recording with the Breakfast Crew, but it's your turn to pick a number for the next movie.
Smashing. What's been taken, sir? What's away?
Well, number 2 has been taken, 27 and 42.
I'm gonna go full Jim Bone here and get a bit of bully. Go right in the middle. 25.
Oh, good. Oh, good shit. We will be reviewing Rocky 4.
Hold on. A bit of pee just came out there. Hold on.
Oh, there will be Hearts on Fire. They sing about it in that film and everything.
Oh dear. I wet myself with excitement. That's what's happened there. I'm like a dog whose owners just come in for their work. Fish whistle. Oh, I can't wait. And you know, as epic as this film is as well, it's I think it's about an hour and a half in it. It's not very long as well. And I'm pretty sure that I could just sit and do the notes the next half hour and not watch it. I have watched this.
Easily,
And
mate.
the tunes are on a playlist that I enjoy as well. So there's no easy way out. There's no shortcut home. Even the training montage. Save that. Save that for next week.
It's fucking mad, Polly. Oh.
We are here for you. Yes? Where you go? We go. Yes? Oh, so good. So good.
There you go, everybody. So, that was already mentioned. We will be doing a collab with the Breakfast Crew at Thursday night, we'll be doing Armageddon. So
We're
if you
dropping on
want
Friday,
to
mate.
watch,
Dropping on Friday morning, the 30th.
yeah, there you go. So there you go. A wee bit of doom on your Friday there for your Friday feeling. But I mean, it's Bruce Willis, know what I mean? But again, thanks to Quint for our music and our entrance music and our outro music, know what I mean? And good people. Get other at Spotify, give them a listen and a follow on their socials and stuff. Shout out to our podcast community again, Seismic, Diabolical, and obviously Breakfast. You'll get to hear those gentlemen in the very near future. And again, if you can like, share, subscribe, tell people about us, know what I mean? Bring us up in conversation. I mean, how often a day do you say, what's the script? Know what I mean? So just, that's a podcast. Just mention that to people. Know what I mean? And even if you don't like us, tell people you don't like us. Because what usually happens is, see if a film is really shit, you go, I'm not watching that, but it's fucking terrible. There's that thing, and people said, I need to see if it is that bad. I need to see it. So,
you're right. And just to let you know about the socials as well before we go, folks. Facebook group page is up to 284. YouTube 298. 2 away. Be there to subscribe. And our X channel's 1,782 people on there as well. So keep liking, sharing, subscribing. As Chris says, it's word of mouth. It's the best form of advertisement in this game. And although we're not in it for the money, notoriety never goes unthanked. You know what I mean? Keep the feedback coming as well, because it's great.
Aye. Even the TikTok is starting to gather momentum. Know what I mean? So it's obviously getting out there. But because it's all very much appreciated. I know it sounds like a lot of shite, but it is.
It is. So Rocky 4 next week. In the meantime, collaboration with the Wreckfest boys. Set your bells to Malky.
It is a bit of a depressing week for us. We've just watched Rose kill Jack because she's a greedy dough-hogging bastard. And we're going to watch Bruce Willis say cheerio to that lassie for Lord of the Rings. It's just... And then we're going to watch fucking Apollo Creed get killed. I mean, what's not to enjoy?
By the way, you're no fucking lying there, are you? That's put me right down there.
But I'm trying to... What's his name again? Is that Hernandez, his name is? It's good to be alive. Born!
So, anyway, that's enough for me.
That's a cheery bye for me. See you next time.
You will never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy. We must be cautious.
The views and opinions of this podcast are solely our own, with no direct intention to offend or upset.
Brilliant. Fucking brilliant.